said that you sound like you're channeling something. So when you write or when you speak, do you ever feel like you're channeling something?
Yeah, definitely. He asked me if I feel like I'm channeling sometimes when I write. Definitely. I think, you know, a lot of us do. I know I'm not alone in that. You know, there's a writing often can be like a, you know, kind of like surfing. Like you pick up your pen and pad and you go out to that, try to get on that wave, and you wait for the right wave, and then when you stand up on the board, it's about just, you know, just going with it. So yeah, a lot of times it does feel like that. I don't know if I'm, yes. Did you say fate or faith? Which one did you say? You're asking me what you said? Okay, I'll respond to faith, and that will respond to fate. My father was a Baptist minister, so I grew up often thinking of faith as, and this answers everything, time and everything. I always thought of faith is this thing, you know, having to do with tomorrow. Like, you know, you'd be like, today is fucked up, but I have faith that tomorrow will be a better day. You know? It was always, you know, surrounding tomorrow. But then I remember reading the Tao Te Ching, and there was the first passage that ever stood out to me when I read the Tao was, and how I had read it the first time was I just opened up to whatever, you know, I opened up to, and I figured that's what I needed to read. And the first thing I read was, the master has faith in the way things are. And that blew my mind, because my mind had been colonized by Christianity. and in the Christian, you know, church, faith once again had been, well, in my dad's church, you know, it had been with this tomorrow thing, you know, and so the idea of having faith in the way things are, the idea of things being as they are for a purpose, for a reason, and learning to see, you know, the necessity of everything in this moment. I mean, right now, even in this moment, you know, there are people, two people in this room have, you know, this is somebody's first date, right? It's somebody's first date. This is somebody's final outing together. you know, somebody, it may not be somebody else's first date, but somebody, you know, might have their first kiss tonight, you know. Meanwhile, at the same time, you know, someone's getting raped tonight, you know. Someone in Iraq is getting murdered tonight, possibly by American fire. This is the worst night in somebody's life tonight. Somebody's worst nightmare happened tonight. Somebody's mom died tonight. All of these things are happening at once. So in light of all of those things, sometimes it's kind of lopsided to protest one without, you know, humbling into the other. I remember having my TV off and having a first kiss and turning the TV on and realized that while we were doing that first kiss, a first bomb had been dropped by our government. The irony, you know? So, the idea of having faith in the way things are, you realize that it's difficult to be anywhere but where you are. If you are here now, then you're here now. And then it's up to you to make the most of that. Even in a discussion of fate, I would encourage you to simply make the most of now. challenge yourself beyond your comfort zones now. Like for instance, Saul, motivational speaker. You know, like I had this huge fear of singing in public, so I make myself sing on my albums. That's why I sing on my albums, because I'm afraid to. That's why I do it. It's that simple. That's why I write the music for my albums. That's why I insist on writing the music for my albums. Because I don't know how to write music. I can't go through this life not knowing how to write music. I still don't know how to read the note, and the notation is not as important to me as the actual music. For some, the notation may be important. You actually want to, you know, have the notation down. And I kind of remember from when I studied the sax as a kid, so I got some of that there. But that's cool. You know, I see basically the necessity to self-actualize, as I was saying earlier. You can't really meet your fate or what have you without developing yourself. There's so much work to be done. Relationships, I love relationships. Because there's always, you know, I'm always watching this possessive, jealous guy come up and always having to deal with him and just, oh, fuck, I forgot about you. I thought I dealt with you. You're still there, you know. All types of things come up in relationships, and it's an opportunity to work on yourself. That's what it is. We get deluded and think like it's an opportunity to like create or work on somebody else. You know, you should start dressing like this. Why do you always say that? Why do you know, like, I remember, you know, that whole saying, if you have issues, it's you. But truthfully, like, there are so many opportunities for us to work on ourselves and to continue the process of getting to know ourselves better, you know? Challenging ourselves beyond, like, I have people, you know, there are people who speak of themselves, you know, like, you know, so-and-so never does that. Like, you know, like, oh, I'm not into that. But there's nothing wrong with that. So why not get into that for a minute? Just challenging yourself beyond your typified ideas of yourself will then bring us to broader conceptions of fate, faith, time, fuck all that shit. Be you. That's a huge enough achievement and a great thing to accomplish and to think about. If you want to get deep, just go deep within. Hello. Hello.
That's what you made when you opened up.
This is beautiful.